Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Saturday the 4th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning earlier than I wanted to, kind of had a little bit of a oddly disruptive night. The doodles and then Luna, I guess, did a little bit. Most of the doodles were barking at any little weird sound or light they'd see outside, so it's definitely not the most pleasant. Finally got them all to settle in. Finally got them all to find a spot to kind of just go to sleep and got some rest. But Dash was super chill. Dash didn't care. Dash just go to sleep. You don't give a damn at all. He just lays next to you. He likes to sleep right in your shoulder blades. But it's an awful spot you go to move because you can't move and you're gonna roll over and crush him. He's like 4 pounds, so it's always a little scary that. But overall, I didn't get real good rest. But got up this morning a little earlier than I really kind of wanted to. But it is what it is. Got the dogs all taken care of. Got them all wrapped up. Went out and jumped in the hot tub for a little bit. Got myself a little bit of soak on. Had a few things to get taken care of. Got the dogs all fed, all that good fun stuff. My wife decided to head up a little early. She's gonna go pick up her father from rehab where he's been. How's it going? Better than I deserve. So she headed up a little early to pick him up, which wasn't a real big deal, but she got a couple things done. Supposed to be there like 10 a.m. to get him, and it was like 10:50, so they finally got him out of there. I don't know. They forgot he was going home or what happened, but who knows. So she left from there. She headed back over to assisted living to pack up the last of his stuff out of the apartment and all that good fun stuff. Got the recipes, food, and all that fun that goes with it. So got that wrapped up, got that packed up. She brought him. He saw a bunch of people and talked to people and stuff that was there. He spent like over a year there, 18 months or so. I can't. He's been there for a while. So he left. They headed home, got him dropped off the house, hung out there for a little while. I was just kind of hanging out with the dogs and stuff, not really doing much. She's going over some of his paperwork and some bills and trying to figure out his insurance and different little things that need to be done. And she was dealing with all that kind of stuff. Cable guy showed up and had to hook up some cable. He's running Spectrum. He wants to be able to watch golf. So I haven't had cable. Shit, I can't remember. It's been probably 30 years since I've had cable. So definitely I've never paid for cable as an adult myself personally. I had like Prime, like satellite stuff a couple times. Not Prime, but DirecTV, Dish, whatever it was. But I had that a couple times for a little bit, but not enough to make a difference. So, but she went ahead and think I was there for what seemed like forever, and then got it all wired up, got it all set up and that. I'm assuming he ran to the bedroom also. I don't know if that was the case. I know they were supposed to, but we'll see. She dealt with him. They finally left. I went over, had to go find like some extension cords and things like that we needed for me stuff. So he was able to get that all figured out, how to get the gate open up for the guy. The house 2 doors north of us, there, he got it up for sale. The lady that owned it, her son came from New York and helped kind of take care of her at the end of her life. And then within the year, he passed away also. So it was kind of those things, the family was there and they posted on Facebook. They're kind of have like a makeshift estate sale. Basically come get whatever, he make his offers on whatever you want there that might have it. When they sell the house, it'll be less work to clean it up, and nothing there I wanted. There was a really cool painting. I actually liked the painting quite a bit, and it was by a fairly well-known artist, but I told my wife to go over and look at it, and she didn't think it fit our house, so she didn't get it. It was dirt cheap. It was gigantic. It was like 4 foot by like 6 foot. It was this massive giant painting. It was like a beach scene and kind of thing, but it was like more of like a snowy covered beach scene with like the dunes and stuff. It was kind of interesting, but it really wasn't. She didn't think it fit. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna force this, so no big deal. Went ahead and what I thought was basically they had a dead possum out there that people were complaining about. So the one guy grabbed a trash bag and picked up the possum as I was walking out, and he stuffed it in our drainage ditch right there. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, man? You can't say, well, I don't want people to see it. And I'm like, first off, you have trash cans, throw it in your damn trash can. But I'm like, Jesus. I said, no, it's gonna plug up the thing. He goes, oh, I'm gonna remove it. I said, no, you won't. He won't. So give me the damn thing. So he gave me the trash bag with a dead possum in it. And I stuck it in a pile of my neighbor's trash. He has like an old dresser and stuff that's gonna be hauled off, big item. So I stuffed it in there because I'm like, you're gonna flood our whole damn street by plugging up the stupid, gutter. Because I saw the guy like wedging it in there, like tight, like not even just drop it down the ditch. Because once in the plastic bag, nobody's gonna notice it. They're not gonna realize, I bet there's a dead possum in that bag. They would just let it sit in the driveway. But it is what it is. So I went back over. I got the cable guy left. My wife hung out with her dad for a while. They chatted a little bit. Then she headed back to the house. I went and got a couple things done. Went and got my run in. I ran short yesterday. It was cold and rainy and just crappy. So I ran like a mile and a half, whatever. I didn't run very far. And I've been running trying to do like a 5K every day at least, and some days a little short, some days a little long, but it's averaging out, whatever. And this was like the shortest run of the year, and I was like, nope, can't do it. It's gross weather. It's just awful. Yesterday, so I thought, well, today I'm gonna run long. So I went ahead. I'd given back Dash, the little puppy. Actually, the puppy, he's like, I don't know, 12 or 13 or some crap. But I gave back the little dog, so it's just the 2 Doodles and Luna there, and then of course Bruce. So I went ahead, went for a long run. The cable guy left in case I needed more help from me. So I went and ended up running about a little over 6 miles, which made up for yesterday's short run, and I got that covered back up. So I made my mileage back up, so it's all good to go there. But got back from the run, went ahead, got myself a shower. And my wife had talked about going up to Daytona to hit Chinese buffet, and then she decided Hank was getting her dad and all that kind of stuff. She didn't really feel like going, and I'm like, hey, whatever. She still wanted Chinese though, so which my thought was like, no, get something else this week, and then next week we'll go to Chinese buffet, because you don't want to do Chinese 2 weeks in a row on your celebration meal. But it is what it is. So we ended up ordering extra. Normally we'll get like 2 entrees and we'll split it amongst the 3 of us, but we didn't know if her dad was going to eat with us or not. So she went ahead and we ordered 3 of them, which was fine. We ended up some leftovers, and I'll have it tomorrow probably for dinner. And I went ahead and she went and asked him if he wanted any. He said, no, I'm not really feeling very good, and he was just kind of feeling weak or whatever. I'm like, okay, no big deal. So he wanted some tomato soup. So Hank, she heated him up some tomato soup. He ate a bowl of soup, and then he was watching TV and whatnot. She came back over and talking to him and stuff. Well, she went back. When I got back to the Chinese food, she said he wasn't going to eat this, wasn't feeling good, but she said his oxygen levels were real low. I had the oxygen sensor that goes in your finger I bought way back years ago when the whole checking the virus and stuff, and O2 was a big thing. So I had it, and we checked it, and it said it was like 88 or something. Whatever. I was like, that's pretty low, it's not good. She goes, I'll check it later. So let's go home, grab a bite to eat, kind of thing, and then check it again. But my fear was she was gonna decide, it wasn't doing good, then she wasn't gonna eat. I'm like, at least get food in you. Get some food in you, you'll feel better. You'll be able to take care of me better once you're full. So she came to the house, we ate, had her nice little meal. She headed back over as soon as we're done eating, which is like 25 minutes later. 1 episode of Seinfeld's all it took. So however long that is, no commercials, nothing on Netflix. So she went ahead, headed back over, and he'd laid down on the couch and was sleeping. And she's like, I don't want to wake him up, kind of thing. And then she got a call saying, hey, my dad's not doing very good. I think I need to call an ambulance. And I'm like, well, she goes, the oxygen level is down at like 84 or something, which is way fucking low. And I'm like, well, how about we just drive him in the car? By the time the ambulance gets here and stuff and that, it's not worth it. Let's just drive him. She goes, well, if I can get him in the car, I'll do it. And so I'll meet you over there. So I head over there real quick, and we go to set him up. I didn't realize he was laying down. But I guess when he woke up from his sleep, he woke up like kind of panicked, like he was freaking out. He was having trouble breathing. He was really scared the hell out of her. And his whole body was like shaking, like really bad, like cold chills kind of thing, but like whole body, like massively. Like it was almost like he was being tased with a taser. It was ridiculous. And so like, let's set you up. We're going to take you to the hospital and stuff, blah, blah. So I went and set him up. He couldn't do anything. Like, he couldn't move his legs out of the way. He couldn't help himself up at all. His body was just shaking so bad. And I told my wife, I said, no, I said, this is ridiculous. He can't stand up. He's like, I don't know if he's refusing to stand up or if he can't stand up. I don't know which. But I was like, just call an ambulance, have him come pick him up. I don't want to drop him. I don't want to injure him more in the process. So she gets on the phone with the ambulance, and then he's like, I'm going to throw up. I'm like, oh, crap. And of course, he don't have any pots and pans or nothing. So everything's like, he doesn't cook. He doesn't do anything. He's like 1 bowl. And and I was like, whatever. So I grabbed the giant brute trash can I still had from doing construction, taking wallpaper and stuff off there. So I grabbed it real fast, held it up underneath his chin. He threw up in the trash can, and she came back with like a little wash pan, like a throw up bucket, basically, lack of a better term. So he threw up in it a few more times, and then we were on the phone. They sent fire truck shows up first, I don't know why. And they don't even have a thermometer in their kit. So, and I was like, what the heck? The EMT finally showed up with the ambulance, put him in the ambulance. So I took him to the hospital. They didn't have an O2 sensor with them either, which I thought was kind of strange. But the whole deal, I said, well, she's going to follow him there. So I was like, oh, I'm going back across the street with the dogs, and you can just kind of keep me in touch. Let me know what's going on, keep me informed. So she got to the hospital. The EMT driver, ambulance driver, I want to call it, was coming out as she was there, and he told her what room he was in and stuff, whatnot. But it's given about 10 minutes before she heads back. And also said he had a fever of like 101, which is real high, and a heart rate of like 135 or some crap, which is also stupidly high. And when they got there, I think his O2 stats were like at 88 or something, 89. So it's not as bad, but it's still not good. And they put him on oxygen at the house, put him on oxygen, of course, at the hospital, and they kept asking, is he on oxygen all the time? Like, no, he's not. He's never been on oxygen. Like when he's sick, he'll go on oxygen, but never at home. and they thought that was strange. So she waited around. The ER was pretty slow, and then some other people came in and whatnot, so we went back, and she went and asked them, like, oh no, and they kind of kept confusing her. Like, there was like 4 people in there, kept confusing her who she's there to see, and she's like, nope, I'm here to see, my dad and whatever and stuff. So finally, like, oh yeah, and then finally she was walking, she goes, I think I can go back now. It'd been like 40 minutes, and they said he could be back in about 10 minutes. I could have her back there. And she's like, I think it's time here. I goes, well, let me call and check. Yeah, you can go back. And I'm like, the fuck? Like, this is your job. Just tell us when we can go back here with this stuff. Which she was trying not to be pushy and trying to be a dickhead, because she didn't think he was dying or nothing. So it wasn't as big a concern. But still a pain in the butt. I'm just sitting at home and just nothing I can do, So I went ahead and basically hung out with the dogs. Ended up having a nice little cigar outside. Ended up having 2, actually, because it was pretty late. And then she finally got, so they're going to admit him. They end up giving him some insulin, I guess, too, which seemed weird. He's never been on insulin either before, so who knows. And she told me, she goes, this one has me worried. Normally, like, he'll have bouts of things and stuff. He had pneumonia 3 weeks ago, whatever, and in the hospital with pneumonia. Monday will be 3 weeks. They gave him a couple days of treatment, like 3 days of treatment at the hospital, and they sent him to rehab for physical therapy and didn't send him a script for antibiotics. So we're thinking possibly that the antibiotics didn't run their course and the pneumonia was still in his system. But I guess they put him on like a viral alert thing or something, sepsis alert, which I guess is like high priority kind of thing, whatever, which is never what you want to hear when you're in the ER. So, but yeah, so they finally admitted him. She headed home. It's pretty late. And then of course her brain's running circles and stuff and going crazy. So I was up, I sat outside for a while. She went out talking to me for a little bit. We came in and we just ended up chatting a little while in the house and just sitting on the bed and chatting and kind of getting the dogs to settle down some and watch a little bit of iPad, just chilling there, watch a couple little shows. And overall it was all right. It was just stressful. It's just a really stressful day, and it just kind of sucks. But it was probably, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning. Finally wrapped it up and called it a night. So, but yeah, I don't have a clue. I don't know what's up with it. It sucks because he came home Saturday 3 weeks ago, and then Monday he went to the hospital with pneumonia, and then he was in the hospital for a few days, and then he went to the rehab for 2 weeks and 2 days, and then he comes home, and less than 12 hours later he's in the hospital. I'm like, the fuck? And they think it's pneumonia again. They don't know exactly yet. So we're still waiting to run some other heart tests they're supposed to run, which that was a whole thing. Supposed to have been scheduled from the rehab place, and the rehab place never scheduled it because they don't do that, even though they told him they were going to, told Karen they were going to schedule it, and then never did schedule it. And then after like 5 days, after like 6-7 days, so on scheduling it, she's like, what? She goes, oh no, they're like, we don't schedule at all. I'm like, what do you mean? We had 3 different people tell if you guys scheduled it. And yeah, so we're still trying to get the other heart test done on him, find out why he's got his oxygen level so damn low. But I don't know, it's just stressful. It sucks, and that's the part. 'Cause there's nothing you can do. Like, I'm not a medic, I'm not a doctor, I can't help with this stuff. So it just, yeah, it is what it is. So it was a crazy day. Tried to call a buddy of mine, talk to him a little bit about just kind of wanting to talk out loud and kind of just dump off some of my stress and my worry about all this stuff. And he wasn't able to talk, so I ended up calling another buddy of mine. Instead, actually, I texted him and like, hey, are you free to talk? He's like, yeah. So we called and I talked to him for hell over an hour. We just kind of talked and basically hashed out some stuff and just kind of, I guess, dumping, basically I do here, but to an actual human being, not to a phone. But yeah, that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.